Remember, self-knowledge is not the end. It's the end of pain and suffering. But the mind is forever. You still have to keep expanding, to see all its manifestation in its infinite levels. So you grasp this eternal flow. It never ends. The Bhagavad Gita said, his manifestation is endless. They keep going and going. The scientists already realize wherever they cannot see or instrument go, but they know there is another invisible world we cannot go because they are in different frequency. We need different cell phone to see it, different consciousness.
I'm Olivia Clementine, and this is Love and Liberation. Today our guest is Sri Dharma Mittra. Sri Dharma first encountered yoga as a teenager before meeting his guru, Sri Swami Kalashananda. Under his mentorship, he became well-versed in both Ashtanga and Karma Yoga, before finally finding his calling as a sannyasi, one who renounces the world in order to better deepen their relationship with God. Sri Dharma founded one of the early independent schools of yoga in New York City in 1975 and has taught hundreds of thousands of people in the years since. Sri Dharma continues to disseminate the complete traditional science of yoga through daily classes, workshops, and his Life of a Yogi teacher trainings at the Dharma Yoga Center in New York City and around the world.
Okay, let's do one Om. May we cherish no ill feelings towards each other. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I am ready.
Thank you. Perfect way to begin. What was your longing when you started to study yoga? What was it that you wanted from yoga? What did you see in it?
Well, it did start with lots of fear. When I was younger, before even yoga, I knew that everything is passing away. Even my mother that I love, I kept always visualizing in advance. Very soon she'll be gone, and then what? What is left? But I have fear. I long for happiness. I long to succeed in my spiritual practice, because at that time I was brought Catholic. And then I always believed I could never follow all these instructions. I will never find Jesus in this life. At that time, I didn't believe in reincarnation. So for sure, I was almost sure I'm going to get lost, to have this fear. And then one day I touched a yoga book about talking about the state of bliss, getting some of the highest knowledge. Anyway, I have this fear. I want to be happy. I want to meet my mommy again when she's gone. I want to find out where we go after we leave this body. I heard about reincarnation, but I want to make sure, is there reincarnation? I want to have some craving to have some divine attention. Not believe, but have a little bliss that is from divine attention. But these are the longing, fear, lots of pain. I want to get rid of my pain, restore my health. true. And that triggers the way I said, that's it. I found almost all the answers here.
And what was it about Sri Swami Kalashananda, also known as Yogi Gupta, that you felt particularly drawn to?
Well, it is said when you are ready, the Guru will appear according to your conditions. So I had no problems in finding the Guru. I was not even in this country. I have one of my younger brother came, met him. When he told me about him, I just, for the first hearing, I just believe. I have this faith. I look at his picture, that's it. So I met him, and from there, I think I removed most of my doubts. I have lots of knowledge. As you know, knowledge, we have to reflect upon it. When the mind and heart get purified with lots of karma yoga, spiritual practice, and practicing compassion towards all beings, and then gradually the mind starts getting purified, and the knowledge, one by one, start coming to the surface. So all the answers are already there. My Guru said, the answers are already there. You just have to remove the obstacles, impurities, sinning all the time. Lots of impurities to be removed. But it was like meeting God. So that was it.
Thank you. And I know that you spent a lot of time with him. When you're speaking of karma yoga, you spent the first 10 years in complete service to your teacher. What do you remember any experiences with him that really stick with you today?
I remember one thing, sure, in order to get to the some realization, some, not all of them. Lots of pain. You renounce everything. I think I have no choice to renounce. I couldn't even speak English. I have no family, no friends here, no profession, not even high school. So I was in the ashram. I have no choice to be one full-time yogi, trying to be obedient and keeping up with the practice. So during this 10 years, just before 1975, I think I got most of the knowledge that I need from him. But remember, most of the knowledge are not realized yet. I have to wait until the purification takes place. And purification takes a long time too, according to my conditions. Anyway, during this almost 10 years, I found two good things that brought me lots of happiness. I learned that the highest of all knowledge is the knowledge of the self, not the lower self that we are aware of, the highest self. The highest self is just like the Lord. It's the same thing. So I have that knowledge. I have the knowledge about the bodies, all this covering of the self, the 5 bodies, the 3 bodies, the astral body, all this thing that is, they are concealing the self. But I could not see it, realize, have some, see it, I don't know how, to have this this feeling, that's it. So I had all that, but I grasped a little bit of it one day. I was reading lots of the Upanishads and reading. It's so difficult. And some of the scriptures, some of the verse, you have to keep repeating it. You have to keep repeating the same, going back. The self is here, the self is not here, the self is everywhere, but the self is not everywhere. I started getting cookie of the head. But all these, to one day, just the way I'm going to explain now, one day I said, that's it. This is just the grasping of the understanding, just the grasping of the understanding. Oh, the self is this notion that everywhere, this notion of existence. I am a tree. I am this self, this notion, equally present everywhere. I grasp just that is beyond comprehension. That is not it yet, but I grasp the idea to get hooked to it. And the other thing was the laws of karma. I learned from my guru that everything is divine. Everything is perfect. Everything is running under a divine laws. Like the physical laws, the laws have many levels. The subtle level, the mental level, the spiritual level, everything follows the same thing. Every action produces a perfect reaction. Democratically. There is no fancy things. Everything is the same. All beings are children of the same Father. All beings have to pass through the same experience, this much amount of pain and suffering, whatever, in order to achieve enlightenment. There is no one more intelligent than the other. Everybody is brought to existence the same way. Now, one thing, I also learned that all of us here, we are in different levels, in different state of life. Maybe someone is 10 lives ahead of me. So the ethical conduct, the purity of mind is finer. They keep going finer and finer. So, in order to understand what is going on, all this, if we realize this knowledge, everything is just perfect. But if you put everybody at the same time, and then you start suffering, and then you see some people more spiritual than you, some people passing through some pain and suffering, some people in this life, they're born with demoniac nature. They're going to die with demoniac nature. There is no way to fix this person. And then you start doubting God, and then God is not perfect anymore because you're looking the other way around. But if you accept that everybody is the same, but we are in different levels. Some people are close to enlightenment. Some people far away. Anyway, I learned this little rules, but was not realized yet, but brought me this faith to keep going. It brought me a great enthusiasm to keep practicing. So a notion of the self and the laws of karma, that is the beginning of the road for me to realize the rest. because I have this deep enthusiasm based upon this true knowledge. And then I am grateful to have the Guru to tell me this is the secret to enlightenment. So this true knowledge, of course, the knowledge of karma, it goes together with reincarnation. If we cannot accomplish the goal next life, this time, next time, it never ends. So we have always a chance to go back to the Lord, and everybody return almost the same amount of time.
And when you speak of God, who is God?
Well, now you're going to listen. In order to me to try to tell you this, let's imagine. Remember, creation never had any beginning. It's infinitely. It never will have end. It's eternal, forever. But in order to understand, let's say before the creation of everything, like most of the Bibles and the scripture mention, in the beginning was what? Void, darkness, nothingness, emptiness. But this is just concerning the other stage. But let's say before the entire creation. Nothing exists, not even space, not even empty space. No intelligence, no light, nothing else to be perceived, nothing else. Now, in your point of view, what was there? The cause. But nothing, you know, right? How can you explain this being? It's a man that has no form. From where we are, we say nothing. That's why some yogis said, oh God, there is no God. His manifestation of the gods has form. Beings who came from him, his consciousness, and other beings. From the infinite time, from the past, they are high, God, manifesting him in forms, in name. This is why you call gods. But the self of the God, the only way to understand, before creation, what was there? You already know, but you cannot say anything. Because the mind cannot go beyond its creation. Remember, we are part of the creation. We can only see creation, not like a camera. We cannot see ourselves. We cannot take our own picture. It's the life of everything. It's the ability to be conscious of. There's nothing there yet to be conscious of. It's a slow process. Now, to realize that is very difficult, because if you don't have the right knowledge, if you are not firm in compassion, for some reason, you end up in terrible void and nothingness, completely void. But if you are pure of heart, try to improve your compassion, try to do your best, and then automatically we grasp, remember the self, we grasp an idea before anything. What was that? You know, this infinite power. You cannot describe. The only way the scriptures usually describe it is this: the nectar of intelligence. Because from intelligence comes consciousness. From consciousness, whatever the object ought to be conscious of, gas, creation, everything moving. There is nothing solid. Everything is just intelligence, with different frequencies, vibrations, intonations, senses of perception that are able to see vibration colors, some other senses of perception according to their position and coordination with this, generate feelings, minds, thoughts, people, water coming to a blue planet, water become food, one cell, senses of perception, and keep going, end up here doing yoga. So when you realize that, and then you really fearless, you have lots of enthusiasm to go through to the rest. Remember, self-knowledge is not the end. It's the end of pain and suffering. But the mind is forever. You still have to keep expanding, to see all its manifestation in its infinite levels. So you grasp this eternal flow. It never ends. The Bhagavad Gita said, his manifestation is endless. They keep going and going. The scientists already realize wherever they cannot see or instrument go, but they know there is another invisible world we cannot go because they are in different frequency. We need different cell phone to see it. Different consciousness. And this is just what the scientists said. But from the yoga point of view, and the world never ends. They keep one behind the other, subtler, more bliss, and then you can see how our Father, how big He is, it never ends. This is the realization a little bit, and God, you cannot explain. There is no God the way people think. It's this unimaginable. Words is only for those, let's say most people believe in the God creator, Brahma. I believe that one Big Bang is one of the Brahma. And the Brahma are infinite in numbers. Like bubbles, one is finished here, the other coming out, and then keep going and never ends. These are the gods. That's how we can contact the Supreme. Beyond form is through His form. So, this is how you understand this easily.
What does it mean to realize the ultimate?
Oh boy. The full realization, only you, whoever get realized, can realize. It's not easy to explain this, because if you could understand, you get self-realized. So when you are about there, remember, we are part of the creation. Who gets self-realized? The mind, the ego, the duality, the creation, not you. Many people still, if you think you are getting self-realized because you're still identified with the body, the mind, and the other ego, identified with the me, I am the doer, have a human form, I have this, I have my special individuality. Now, when you have self-knowledge, you realize, remember before the creation, that little portion, the Bhagavad Gita said, a portion of this infinite being is dwelling in everything as the inmost self. So when you realize that, still at the end, you have to tune your mind with a higher mind, your guru or someone who had it. You have to tune your mind, because with this brain made of guacamole, vegan food, it's not enough. You can see it doesn't go. Look like a glue. Some yogi have to say only after you leave the physical brain and get in touch with the astral, the mental brain, and from there you tune your mind with the higher mind, you'll be able to grasp, before the entire creation. That's it. At the same time, you feel like, I was there too. I cannot erase this. I feel like I am him. You understand? So when you get to, this is just still words here, but in order to have to realize me, to almost have some evidence, you have to do some yoga, settle the mind almost into silence. Spend a few days in solitude. Rest your mind in this knowledge and realization. And then when you come out, you're mute. At the same time, you are crying for, oh Jesus, nobody going to grasp this. It's so difficult, you're going to end up in nothing. But at the same time, you realize everything is Him in different vibration. Everything's made of Him, like Legos. Everything's made of Legos, right? Legos is the Lord. A trillion, millions of countless Legos become one atom. And the atom become another bigger Lego. And then if you dissolve everything, what you end up? Before creation, right? What exists then? It's so simple. That's how. After that, of course, you still have the ego. And ahead of us is amazing. We have to participate in creation, to help, to bring other people enlightenment, to share the knowledge. This is just in a physical plane, but there are infinite levels. You have to help as you grow. The mind and the ego grow subtler. There are positions for you, missions. But inside, after self-realization, you are not affected by anything. But this is the secret. Be grateful. We are sharing all the bliss. But we are not it, but we are sharing the bliss of helping to become a saint, one day to become a Brahma. We are sharing that feeling, but we are not it. We already realize what we are. That's how.
When we find ourselves seeking something or someone outside, how can we return our attention to living in union with God, a union with the ultimate?
Well, I'm resting based on this 9 or 10 years of practice. When you realize that everything is perfect, the self is the one dwelling everything, no matter where you are outside with your friends, you're always inside the ocean. It's like your body. Let's say the body is the entire creation. I am here, but I am here with helping my finger, cutting my nails, but I am always here. Everything is God. You cannot, when you realize that, it's always deep there. You are not conscious of it, but deep inside, in your subconscious, I am that, and nobody can remove from that. Everything is the Lord. As soon as you are not active watching TV or love with your friends, as soon as you're there, you're already there. You're always together. You cannot lose it. But your attention moves. If your attention with your friends, look like you are with your friends. But you're always back again. So everything, you're always in that ocean. You cannot escape because you are it. Everything is divine. There is no evil. You don't have to fight anything. Nothing is different from each other. Everything is already there. Perfect.
Moving into the realm of postures, of asanas, what do you think after so much experience, the minimum amount of necessary time for someone to practice asanas daily?
I remember my practice. My guru gave me only about 15 minutes asana, 10 minutes relaxation. And meditation, not this kind of meditation you don't know where you are, but sit quietly and reflect upon one of the verses of the scriptures. Let's say if I have doubt about reincarnation, reflect upon it. If I don't know about compassion, reflect upon it. Of course, he also realized I learned meditation to concentrate here on the Agna chakra, and mostly here. This is the center of emotion in the Atma, and gave him the mantra. Be busy doing your mantra, combined with the sun mantra. Let's say, Ham Sa, I am you, you are me, I am you, you are me. The lot of this kind of meditation. Pranayama, 10 minutes. Asana, 50 minutes at least. Easy pose. You don't have to cross legs. Here in the West, we don't need to kill ourselves with crossing legs or this fancy pose. No, sit in a chair. I did most of my breathing meditation chair. When I was young, I went to do fancy poses. But today I do just simple pose, shoulder stand. Anyway, 10 minutes.
So 15 minutes of
10 minutes of reflection. Very simple. If that is not good enough for you to keep you physically in good condition, remember you have to keep to be in good shape. Do bodybuilding, swim, run, some easy Tai Chi, something nice, comfortable. But you have to be in shape, moving. Yes.
That's so wonderful. And if you had to recommend a few asanas, like ones that you think are really valuable, which would those be?
Remember, everybody are in different positions. Some people has different physical conditions. They are born stiff. Some people are stiff on the knees. Some people are flexible in the spine. So, if you could keep the headstand or shoulder stand. Headstand, I have experience. I did lots of headstand. But when I start becoming 80 years old, I have to slow down the headstand a little bit. It's too much pressure on the vertebrae. They are old. You cannot. They start squeezing some nerves. But I stand, but very little, not much. But keep the shoulder stand. Remember, back stretch, easy, may bend your leg. Learn how to move your belly there in position, making waves with the abdomen. To massage the internal organ. And then cobra pose, a cobra pose. And then what? Spinal twist. There are few variations. Go to the book and see which one fit to you. You know, there are one like this, leg straight. Some people cannot do this, do other. There are lots of variation to fit the student. But choose one. And that take 10, 15 minutes. And then a sitting position for your breathing or contemplation with the eyes slightly open or gazing the tip of your nose. But if you are young, do lotus pose. If your knees are flexible, whatever you are up there, shoulder stand or head stand, do the lotus. So very simple poses. And what else you have to learn? One of the mudras, right? The Mahamudra. You have to find a teacher in order to learn that. But the pose is very simple. Just one that bends forward, stand on your head, one that twists, and one that bends backwards. That's all.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. And if somebody wanted to get into Nauli Kriya, which I know is not necessary in part of this, but what are the purpose and benefits, and are there tips to begin oneself to be able to do that cleansing practice?
Well, some practice doesn't fit to everybody. Let's say everybody, let's say today. Some of you have a little waist. That will be more difficult. You understand? Some people has a little fat here. That will be more difficult. If you are not self-controlled, to be empty, totally empty in order to do that pose, that will be extremely difficult. But I think most young people, for some reason, if they are always not out of shape yet, you are able to do the Agna, Agna Sara, or abdominal lift. You have to be able to throw the air out, and then you relax with the abdominal relaxed. You press your hands on the knees, allow the ribs to expand. At that time, you try to inhale. Don't use any abdominal muscle, only the muscles that help your lungs to inflate, the diaphragm. You do it very hard and allow all the organs to go up inside of your chest, and then you have a hollow. You learn it by leaning forward with the middle on the floor, and then you throw the air out and engage like this. And then let it go and keep a look. It's pulling. You see a suction, a vacuum under the rib cage. Not using the abdominal muscles pushing back. No, that is different. You say, I try to inhale. You see the pressure on my neck when I try to inhale? So same pressure here. When you relax the abdomen, it goes up. And then you release, and then go up again. Release. All this with the lungs empty, completely empty. When you learn that, you're going to stand. When you apply it, you hold it. And then when you relax one arm here and press this down, the muscle, excuse me, this is not the moving. To get the nauli out, there is a way you press the hand here, and the muscle in the middle will come up Only when you see or look in the mirror, you'll be able to keep doing until by accident. Oh, I got it, come in the middle. And then after you control that, there is a way. You press one hand down, relax the other, move to the left. Like if I press this, the mouse automatically is on the side, right? You have to go down. It is contracting to push my shoulder down. If I relax this and go this, the other one on the side goes to that side. The lungs has to be totally empty. One should go to the bathroom before you go into this. No juices, no water, totally empty. If you cannot succeed on this, use your hands. Shake the belly. Shake. You know what is this for? To massage the internal organs, the colon, the intestines. Every time I go in the bathroom, after, I do about 40 of them, shaking. And that moves the waste very fast. You know, all disease originate here in the colon. And it's wonderful, things keep moving. And keep your belly always down. There's no volume, because there's nothing accumulates, stays there, keep moving. I noticed that most people after 40, the belly start getting harder. But the yogis, you may know, the good yogi keep the Agnasara always. Not the Nauli. I don't do much the Nauli. I just back and forward. Fast, you do 40 in one breath. Throw it. Shake, 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 shake. This is, I think, is more powerful than the Nauli.
Why do you think it's more powerful than the Nauli?
Because it has you have the power to do it very fast and shake the organ like a vibration. Just like when you're mixing a drink. So everything moves fast. You feel great. When your colons are in good condition, empty, you have this endless, boundless energy, power. You keep working forever, it never ends. But keep moving.
Thank you so much for going through that. It's really helpful to see. And another asana that you mentioned before is Lotus. And what do you recommend for people that want to just be able to move in and out of Lotus more comfortably without any strain?
Lotus pose?
Yes.
Well, I remember myself. I have a saucer with olive oil. I put one leg here and keep moving, and then I get massage and stretch, but no pain, and keep moving the leg down. And then you go back. You have to keep doing this for a long time, and then you get the other one. Don't put your leg too high, but the heels should be very close to the belly. When you cross your leg, the leg should bend totally, the leg. Don't put it too close to the knees. Bend it. Use your ankles to start. And keep getting your heel near the same time. Use more the ankles. It's a slow process. If you go too far, I have many students who can't do Lotus anymore. They hurt the knees. They went to some place to fix, and it even got worse now. You cannot even cross legs anymore. So remember, it is not important. So slow, but constant practice. 5 minutes, but every day, and then you make progress. Don't sit twice a week and do for 3 hours. No, it's better to do once, even 3 minutes, but every day. And watch the diet. Lots. I remember I drank lots of celery juice with lemon, lots of pineapple. They have some ingredient that is good for your bones. Avoid too much flour, too much thing, yeast, and then you're going to feel pain, inflammation, too much bread, too much alcohol. Oh boy, more pain. Of course, in moderation, but everything slow and what? The diet. Go online and see which food is not good for your joints. So
That's helpful. Thank you so much. And for people that are sitting often, so many people sit these days for work. What do you think would be supportive for the body and the breath? And
well, what's good? You occasionally sit up and grab your hand from behind. Cross your arms here, stretch. Grab your hands here, stretch. Everything for 5 seconds and contract the buttocks. So I have a machine here, I'm not going to show you yet, but you sit on it, you lie on your back, your body's curved. But the best thing is stretching all the time, but stretch. Contract for about 5 to 7 seconds. I usually do this every time I wake up in the morning. I just grab my hand here, and then I go here, then stretching all the time. Why the dogs are in good shape? They do only 2 poses: down dog and up dog. They're a pile of muscles. Touch them when they're doing up dog. Everything is like a stone. All the muscles are rigid for about 3 or 4 seconds. They tone up everything. But remember, you have to combine all these with a good diet. Well, diet comes gradually.
what do you suggest focusing on when we're in pain or sick? We're in the process of dying.
Wash your colon if you can. There are professions. I don't suggest in the yogic way because it's painful, but you can wash your colon if you can. There are special places where you wash. If you cannot do that, just go in juices and watermelon for a while. Lots of yoga nidra. Learn how to do the pranic healing. It's a mental attitude that you send to the injured part of your body, the cause of your condition. You're able to mentally contact the help. Most of the help are not here. Celestial doctors. You can mentally ask for help. There is a way, a mental attitude, mentally sending your arm to the injured part. Or you, during yoga nidra, when you relax the body and go in that state, you imagine that the best is taking place exactly where you need it most. And then automatically it is taking place. You are not conscious of it, but you are receptive. So relaxation, the yoga nidra, is the best antidote for impurity. So relax, and if you cannot do other poses, see what is fit to your condition. You can only do a little cobra. You can always, stand up and do a balancing pose on one foot. It's according to your condition. If you can't do anything, lie down, yoga nidra. And then if you feel like you're about to die, remember, you have to accept the laws of karma, that everything is just perfect. You have to go, let's say, if you have some yogic knowledge, everyone that comes here, they born with a number of breaths according to your karmas. If you have only 10 more breaths, you have no choice, you have 10 more breaths. But if you still have to call a few friends, breathe very slow, because you still have time to give 2 or 3 more calls before you go. So if you are helping someone in that condition, teach them about, don't worry, you will return soon. We will be together soon. Return. So do whatever. That's why the yogic techniques are endless to fit everyone. If you cannot move at all, meditate, do mental postures, love and understanding. Remember at the last moment, remember the Lord. If you are able to think of the Lord at the last breath, you go to divine places.
As we close, would you guide a meditation to support God realization or anything you think would be most beneficial?
Well, I recommend a meditation without seed. You sit quietly, comfortably like this. Don't close your eyes. You feel like gazing the tip of your nose. You shouldn't have not too much distractions. And keep watching the activities of the mind. But don't interfere. Let them be active by themselves. Let's say if you hear noise, your senses are active. But don't feel, oh, I hear noise. No, you see the noise come in, stay and going. Your mind is going to start remembering your problems, worrying. You keep watching the mind worrying by themselves. Keep pretending that you are witnessing, actionless. That's the highest thing to do. Some thought you're going to notch, they change your feelings. Let's say you're sitting there and suddenly, oh Jesus, I forgot to pay my tax last April. You can see your feeling change. Try to see them other than you. You understand? And then you can start realizing you are not the thoughts. You are not thinking. The mind is thinking according to their conditions. And then another thought come in your head. Oh, I have to do my laundry. And then, why? Why this thought came to my head? I don't want to think. Because you have dirty laundry. So the mind is worrying and giving you a message. What you realize now, I don't think. I think the mind is worrying about things. And gradually with this constant watching, you very soon you realize, that's it. I am actionless. Of course, you still remember when we are active, we are sharing, we are acting, changing, moving, you understand? But deep inside, when you realize that, you still can watch all this taking place. I see myself making decisions, I see this, I see that, I can sense how old am I can sense all these things, I can sense all these mistakes, I can sense all that took place, all my sins, I don't know what is happening. And then gradually you realize the spirit is already perfect, it has nothing to do. But we have a blessing to sometimes share and enjoy the good things. But we still observing the other self enjoying. When you feel good during meditation, do the same too. Oh, I see myself in the state of bliss. This is the highest type of meditation. Not doing anything, just witnessing the action. Remember, the mind never stops. It's always there busy. Even the mind go to sleep, nothing to be witnessed, but she's there in darkness. But you still can watch. Oh my God, look. There's nothing to perceive. Darkness, emptiness. And then gradually you start getting into, remember before creation, nothing. This is the type of meditation, but also for those who are more devotional, concentrate on the spiritual heart, concentrate on compassion, surrender. Those who are more intellect may try to activate your pituitary gland. You concentrate here, and then you may have some experience, some light, some divine visions according to your condition. But the best one is to go beyond all these visions.
Would you want to lead us in any kind of actual meditation or mantra so the listeners could practice with you?
All right, let's do the Hamsa. Extremely powerful and efficient. Ham means I am. Hamsa means I am that. And that I am. I am God, God I am. In every inhalation there is a sound of hum. In every exhalation, sa. I'll give an example. I'll say verbally, but mentally. Every time you're inhaling, inside, hum, sa. You're going to breathe from your spiritual heart to your Agna chakra. Hum, sa. Don't say it. The sounds are already in the breath. Sa, hum, sa. All right, close your eyes. I'm going to say it verbally, and then you do on your own. Leave the body by itself. Lock your body with Grant Mudra, Gyana Mudra, any Mudra. Neck and head erect. Leave the breath by itself. Feel like you are in deep sleep, same thing. Now in every inhalation, from your heart up to your third eye, hum and down, sa, hum, sa, hum, sa. From the spiritual heart, remember the Lord is the inmost self, right there. Breathe in up from Him, hum, sa. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In the beginning, look like mentally we are talking Hamsa, but later, just in your mind, imagine that the sound is taking place loud, the entire creation. You became one with everybody's breath. It's like saying to God, I am you, you are me. Take me, I am you, you are me. You are my everything, surrendering. So, this breathing, you can do it for 1 hour, 2 hours, as much as you like. Just meditate.